Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Happy Thursday. Yeah, I'm here and this is the .NET Dev Show. So welcome folks, I'm your host Sam Basu for the day here, and actually for the next few weeks. It will be me on Thursdays without any guests because I'm trying to actually build something on the fly. It's an app that we want to put in the stores, in the app stores for both iOS and Android. It's a dotNET MAUI app, so maybe also make it work on Windows and Mac nicely. The promise I have made is I'm going to do everything on stream. So every part of this app, the back end and the front end, everything is going to be done on stream. So that's where we are at. So you're going to see me struggle a little bit through all the different things that we need to hook things up, but hey, it's real. All right, so let's get going. And chat room, let me know if you need anything tweaked audio-wise, and I'm happy to oblige. All right, so first thing, let's set the stage here as to what we are doing. In case I started this last week. But in case you're joining me now and want to know what I'm up to, every Monday I put out a little blog post that says Sands of MAUI. I mean, I'm excited about dotNET MAUI, and I think most dotNET developers are excited. So this is an attempt to capture all the things that are happening in the community. Blog posts, articles, videos, announcements, tutorials, whatever the community is coming up. I try to capture them, and I try to make it not too long. So I limit it to like 5 items every week. So every Monday, this thing goes out. So if you are interested, tune into that. So all of this is actually captured right here. We have a tag here. And if I can make it a little, zoom in a little bit more. So this is Telerik.com blogs, and then the tag is Sands of MAUI. So all of the issues every week, it's listed right down here. And the desire has been to make this an app. So you actually don't have to come to the website, to the blogs engine here. You have it as an app. And you just have it every Monday on your device, maybe with push notifications that we'll work on. But every Monday you get a new issue, and essentially this should be fairly simple, but I'm trying to do some things right. We'll do like accessibility, we'll do some nice UX, hopefully. But the crux of it is like each issue is going to have the content, the gist of what that issue is, and this is hosted in a CMS. This is Sitefinity actually, which is our CMS, but we're going to get the HTML out of it and just load it up and display it pretty much how it looks like on the web. So I'm trying to cut down on the amount of work it takes to kind of format this right, because I already do the formatting for the web anyways. So that's the goal, and we're going to make a dotNET MAUI app and hopefully use a Blazor web view to show the content of each of these things. So that's where we're at. Let me show you where I left off last week. And again, I have not touched this since the last stream. That's the goal. I'm going to do everything here. So since each issue is essentially like a big document, it's not quite relational in terms of the data storage. I'm trying to come up with a new backend for it, and I chose to go with Azure Cosmos DB, which probably is an overkill for something this simple, but it just fits nicely. From whatever little I read, it is NoSQL, it's non-relational, and it's just a big chunk of HTML that's going to be embedded in our JSON that we pull out, and we also need a list of issues. So that's where we are at. So last week we got the portal working, I think, and we were able to do a ping. So this is my Azure Backend, by the way, and we were able to pull some data out. So that's my Azure Cosmos DB instance, and if I go here to my Data Explorer, Yeah, you can go away with those credits. So I have two things here. Let me make things a little bigger. So I have a Sands of MAUI issue list, which is the list of issues essentially that we want, and we just added like two dumb things here. So each issue is going to have an ID, so we uniquely identify that, and it's going to have a name, and then when it was published, some of this stuff like this looks like what Azure Cosmos DB adds by default to like any record or any document, so that's their stuff. But we want to pull that back first, and then given a single ID, we're going to go look up the actual issue and pull back the HTML with all of the data. But first thing is to get the client app started and pull this back. So we have two issues here, 1 and 2, right? And I think last week, let's open up Visual Studio. And I'm on a Mac, so I'm actually using the VS 2022 for Mac preview. And everyone can sign up and, well, actually it's not even a closed beta anymore, so you can go get the preview one. So we did a Cosmos test, I think. And this was a simple console app, just trying to see if I can hit the Cosmos DB backend and pull something back. So everything, I mean, you're going to see some sensitive stuff here, but we're all friends here, right? So I got my key, I got my endpoint here, and then this is pretty much out of the Cosmos docs, right? So we have a Cosmos client, we have a database, we have a container, and we are pointing to it. We are starting it up, the Cosmos client, with the endpoint URI and the primary key. 3D Polaret, morning. Good morning. Let's see if my highlighting is working today. Some days it just doesn't work. And today might be one of those days. Huh. Alright, hold on for a second. Let's give this a refresh. I used an app called Feature Chat, which is actually, it's community written and it's nice, but it has some quirks some days. So let's see. Oh dear, it is completely hosed up. You're all hacker people. We love hacker people. All right, it looks like it's coming back. So hang on with me, folks. I'm trying to get in and start seeing messages in the chat room. And let's see. Okay, there we go. I think now I can highlight. There. Hey, 3D Polaret, good to see you. And evil hacker people. Yeah. All right. So message highlighting is working. Welcome to the chat room, folks. Let's go. I'm wearing a really old shirt, by the way. I've been cleaning out my closet. It says "Code like a boss," although I code like, like stumbling every step of the way. This is like a really old, like it's a Microsoft certified professional, like an MCP thing that I did years and years back. So I found a nice shirt, a real old one. Okay, so we were at this last week. We had a console app just to check things out, and I'm not sure if I'm doing things right here, but I was very explicit in naming the database, naming the container. And then we came in here, we wrote some SQL-ish queries to look up our document. It's not actually SQL because it is a document DB, but then it looks kind of like, the queries look kind of like SQL. So we had a feed iterator going through the issue list, and then we had a collection here, and we made a call. And then we iterated over that, and we kept on adding those issues into this collection, right? And we wrote it out in a console. So if I'm not mistaken, this was working last time. So start without debugging. So, okay, there we go. So hello world is there, running query, select star from C, read Sands of MAUI issue 1, issue 2. So that was my like 101, just trying to hit a cloud backend and getting it back. Oh, okay. So that's an interesting question 3D Polaret is bringing up. I saw my first flip phone in the wild. How is MAUI handling the new screens? Great question. Okay, Now, when you say flip phone, my first thoughts go back to the older flip phones we had. My first, okay, here's a question for you, chat room. Like, what was your first smartphone? And I'll tell you how old I am, because mine was, well, I had two actually. I had a Windows, what was it called? Windows Mobile, Windows CE, like an embedded thing. And then I had the Palm Trio. It had a stylus, and it was a little clunky, but it worked. And then I've had a whole bunch of flip phones when, like, early 2000s, when phones were just starting to be a little smarter. But I think what 3D Polaroid is referring to here is some of the newer multi-screen things, like, the Surface Duo or the Samsung Flip. The first model I have was the Nokia Brick. Yes, I have had a few Nokia Bricks. So to answer your question, it is dealing with it well. MAUI may be a little too far out, but MAUI is essentially going to inherit what Xamarin Forms is, and you can do Surface Duo with Xamarin Forms. There is actually a team, I forget the PM on it, but you can do dual screen devices with Xamarin Forms. So you need to install this dual screen package, and I mean, the moment you bring in a different screen, you have to think about the UX, like how are you presenting your content, how are you going to use that extra real estate and all of that. So it gets a little complicated quickly, but the SDK actually has a nice simulator for you, and it lets you and they have some guidance as well. I mean, start looking through the docs here if you are interested, because I think they provide some UX guidelines on how to use that second screen. So to answer the earlier question, it does support, Xamarin Forms does support dual screen. I don't know about the Samsung device, but the Duo it does support, and I know they came up with a new one. Oh, okay. So folks really like the Surface Duo, yes. And James may be on in the PM. And I'm guessing you're talking about James Montemagno. I have seen him using the Duo lately, yes. Yeah, folks have had the Duo, and it's nice. It's nice. It's actually, when you fold it up, like the edge actually is also a screen, so it shows you some notifications. That's nice. So I'm not there yet. Maybe like with this app, I can try it out, and I don't know if dotNET MAUI works on with this SDK yet, but because I mean this is all very experimental, still in preview. I'm sure by the time dotNET MAUI ships back or forward in like Q2 of 2022, they will have support for this. But right now, if you want to do dual screen, it is the Xamarin Forms. All right, so back on our train, here's our data, and we had a console app which is just able to pull this back, right? So we are not pulling back the issues yet, and this is the other thing I'm going to have to deal with eventually, is how do I kind of encode my my HTML, right? The problem is if I look at an issue here, like I was thinking like each of the issues will have like just one like HTML body tag, and that's going to bring back the entire HTML document. The tricky thing is going to be, this is JSON, so we'll have to kind of escape all of the HTML characters that might throw it off. So we'll get to this once we cross the bridge, but should be doable if I escape and encode my HTML right. Okay, all right. So this is a console app, and we have proved that we are able to hit the service and get it back. So I think it's time to actually move this into an app. What were the dependencies? I think there was one NuGet package that I brought in, which is the Microsoft Azure Cosmos. I'm hoping this NuGet package works on dotNET MAUI, because if it doesn't, then we are in a bit of a trouble. So maybe we should try that. So let's start this, okay? And I might have to go into the CS Proj to see how we are referencing it, because on a Mac, MAUI support isn't quite there yet with the tooling. It's mostly CLI tooling, and VS22 for Mac can open up dotNET MAUI projects, but it kind of throws up on a bunch of things. So it is CLI best on a Mac. Okay, so let's keep this. I don't need the full Visual Studio, but we're going to start things off. Client app, okay? This is so exciting, like starting up a brand new project, file new project, right? It's a milestone. All right, I want to keep stuff here, my CLI projects repo, so let's go do that. Terminal, here we go. Hopefully that's big enough for you to all to see. I'm going to go into CLI projects, okay? So if I, it's not good, hold on. This is another thing that I've started seeing, so maybe I need a better bridge. So what's happening is I have a little Elgato video card that captures my desktop, and that stops working once in a while. And then you have to kind of unplug and replug it back, and it comes back, which is not nice. All right, back on our desktop. Stay with me, video card. Don't blank out on me. It's old. It's like a 3-year-old video card, so it's starting to show some age. Devil 356. Do you work in Microsoft? I do not. I am a Microsoft MVP. We work very closely with Microsoft, given my job at, I work at Progress Software. We make all of the Telerik, Candy UI, and Fiddler, all types of tooling. So we work very closely with Microsoft. So no, I do not work for Microsoft, but I use their stuff all over the place. Some of my closest friends are at Microsoft, some of the PMs, and some of the dotNET MAUI folks are my good friends. So I'm always using their previous stuff. So let's go .NET new, just to see what I have. Thank you for the follow, Devil 356. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to do CLI first, okay, because that's the way to go. Look at all the .NET MAUI templates I have. This is the same as what you get from like File New Project in Visual Studio 2022 on Windows. Do you need a content developer? What do you mean, 3D Polyret? Are you like looking for a job? If you are looking, like I'm going to tell you real quick, like head out to Progress and look for our open positions. Like it's that depends if you're offering. Yes, we are offering. So pretty much, where is that? Careers. Yeah, so see that view open positions, like that's going to be a list. Like if we have open recs out for our engineering, our PM roles, our testing roles, our DevRel roles, everything would be out there. Like it's not a secret thing. If we have an open position, and we always are hiring, so that's the place to go look. Yeah. Okay. So I have MAUI, MAUI Blazor, MAUI Library, Comet, and all of those things, okay? So let's actually start. So we're gonna make a directory called, this is exciting, just starting off a new app, Sands of MAUI. All right, so we're going to Sands of MAUI. All right, let's see if it, that's the directory. It's empty. All right. Now we're going to do .NET new. I'll give it a shot. Yes, please 3D it. .NET new MAUI, and I'm in the repo, so I'm going to let the .NET new thing go. Let's just watch how quick it is. The template is done, and if I switch back here, that's my Sands of MAUI project, right? And they have combined now. Everything is all together. iOS, Android, Windows, and Mac, they're all together in the same project, which is nice. So now that we have that, we can do code dot, because I have VS Code on my as an environment and on my path. So that's my project. Okay. Yes, I know you can't do some of the debugging. That's all right. Okay, that's my project here. Okay. This is the default dotNET MAUI template. So you'll notice iOS, Android, Mac Catalyst, and Windows. They're all right here. We don't have to separate out the WinUI project anymore. It's all together now. Excuse me. CSproj, solution, they're all right here. And there's main page, there's app, SAML. Okay. All right, this is good. Oh, they have the target framework commented out. This is going to be a pain, isn't it? All right, we're back. We're back. Okay. CSproj. First things we want to do. Can you folks read the text? I'm going to make this maybe a little bigger. No, not that big. Okay. Hopefully that's legible. All right. App identifier. I'm going to first change this to SAM because I have actually my Apple profile has a provisioning profile and a certificate that is com.sam.star whatever. So that's the first thing I change. So I can deploy this to any iOS device. Okay, so back on our CLI, we're going to do a dotNET restore. So now it's going to go through the CSproj and get all the dependencies, which is all of the MAUI stuff right here. And let's see, what else? I mean, it's got the target framework right there. Everything is good. So the thing I need to build this is the thing that I forget all the time. It's like the build command actually. So here are the docs. I'll look that up. 3D Polyret, what are you saying? There is no typo on the careers page if you know who handles it. Oh, there is a typo. I mean, I'm a pretty good cook. It's funny. I'm a decent cook, I would like to think as well, but chef is a whole other type of recipes. Chef is DevOps and a lot of different things for Windows, for Linux, and so on. So yeah, if you're a good cook, especially with software, give it a try. Yeah, and it's all over the place for us as well, folks. So like we have a lot of presence in the US. We have a lot of engineering in Europe. We have a lot of engineering in India. Some presence in Brazil. So it's a global company. It's all over the place. All right. So we did the dotNET restore, and let's do this, which is running it on iOS, because you still need the TFM to say go run on iOS. Okay. So back on this, we can fire up .NET 6 iOS. It should go deploy to the default iOS simulator. 3D Polyret, yeah, never heard that term. It is Chef. Yeah, Chef was an acquisition for us. I think 2 years back, and it's great. A lot of folks out of Seattle. All right, so it's doing its thing. Optimizing assemblies, yeah. So the iPad mini comes up as the default iOS simulator, which you can actually change it. You can deploy it to an iPhone or whatever it is that you want. All installed iOS simulators. Okay, so there we have it. This is the default dotNET MAUI app. We have a click me counter that's working, so we have an app. All right, we haven't done anything to it, but we have an app. Now let me check if it's going to work on a Mac Catalyst. So the same app now on Mac OS. I haven't done anything, so it should work. Oh no, what is it? The Mac Catalyst requires a Mac Catalyst 15. I have it. linker is stripping out some files. Okay, we're going to deal with this later on. I know like the default template should work, but I may not have all the bits for a Mac Catalyst, so we'll give it a try some of the time, but at least iOS works and Android should work as well. But that's enough for us to start. Okay, so we have CSproj. Let's look at app XAML. Sands of MAUI App, color, styles, that's all good. We're going to come in here and edit a whole bunch of stuff soon. App initialize component, that's fine. Main page is where we are starting off, and main page XAML has all of the stuff that's painted with the text. Welcome to dotNET MAUI, current count, that's the counter. Count the number of times you've clicked, and that's the dotNET bot image. So everything is in a grid, everything is in a scroll view. Backend code behind has main page, and it has the counter label. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. Oh, you know what? I know what I want to do. I want to bring in our Telerik bits, because I want to actually, and you don't absolutely have to use it, but I'm fond of it because I'm biased. I work for this. So Telerik UI, right? This is for all things .NET. Right in here, mobile components, we have a UI for MAUI. This is actually experimental. It's preview, free for all. So go play with it if you're building .NET MAUI apps. So these are all the UI that I need. And I think what I want to use is, it's not listed here. Go to the docs. We have a list view. Yeah, so like this list view is a little bit on steroids, and I want to use that. So we might have things like in a list of the Sands of MAUI issues, and then you should be able to like swipe over, favorite that, or like there's no like CRUD, there is no edit or delete on this data. It really is just read only, but I can use this, and I can think of some features. Okay, so I can do that. Bring in that list view, but first let's start without any UI, just trying to see if I can make that call out to Azure Cosmos DB. Okay. All right, so that's my Sands of MAUI post. I'm going to make a few folders here. Okay. So first thing is I'm going to need a packages folder, because I'm going to put some NuGet packages that are local, in particular the Telerik bits. Let's make a few new folders. We need a folder called models, because MVVM is a design pattern that works really well for XAML C# code bases. I don't think for something as simple as this I'm going to need an MVVM framework. I might just use whatever is built in, because the data binding, the nav stuff, that's all I need. So I'm going to roll with what is built in, unless I see that there is a need for it. All right, view models, and then we're going to have a thing for our views. Okay. We should also have something called the services. Yeah. All right, so those get picked up right here. Good. So let's start with models. New file. Ooh, it just pops up right here. It doesn't give you the prompt as to what type of file it is. All right. So I'm trying to replicate what the model would be on the database. So I think maybe I'd keep it all together, like the issues and the issue list. Yeah, issues. Is that a .cs file it created? If I go into models, what type of file is this? It's a document. It doesn't say what it is, because like this is the difference between like VS Code and VS 2022 for Mac. Okay, I'm guessing it's just a text file, so I can just like start writing out. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is bring in the reference to Azure Cosmos DB, right? So if you go into my projects, that was the older project, Cosmos test and CS project. Let's take a look at this. We're going to open this up. And we just need that the item group package reference include Microsoft Azure Cosmos version 3.2.1. That's all I need. This was running on .NET 5, so I'm not sure if this NuGet package is meant to run on .NET 6, which is what .NET MAUI is running on. So we'll give it a try and see what it does. All right, CS Proj, here we go. Item groups, blah, blah, blah. Yep, right in here, we're going to stick in that. Package reference, Microsoft Azure 3.2.1, okay? And yes, I know I have to run restore. No need to tell me. And we are running on .NET 6, okay? So here is the test of running .NET restore. Ew. Well, it complained a whole bunch of yellow, but it did restore. Okay, so it's complaining about Mac Catalyst. Okay. Okay, well, it did restore. I know, you don't need to tell me, VS Code, you're not meant to run .NET MAUI yet. But what if we run the build on iOS? It's trying. Let's see what it does. Because if this does not work, then I have to rethink how to use the NuGet package. It should work on a Xamarin Forms app, but .NET MAUI is a different runtime. Looks like it's trying. Now, we're not using the NuGet package yet, it's just a reference, but it's including that in the build, and we're still good. Okay, so far so good. Click me, counter works. All right, okay. So we haven't broken anything yet with that reference. Yeah. Required VNI does not do a build transitive for everything. I don't know what that means. All right, and target framework MS build. Yeah, that's just if you have to run it on WinUI. All right, so we have the Cosmos DB thing. In our services, like we're going to get to the models. We might have to get to the models sooner than later. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, let's open up this program.cs, which is our console app. Right. Let's open that up. I know it's small. Let's make it bigger. So we needed this issue list, and yeah, let's go ahead and create those things. Can I rename this? Issue list, and yeah, we're going to get to the issues with the HTML, but let's do the issue list first. All right. So it's a public class, just that. So now we're starting to separate it out. We need the using and some of those things, which we'll get. Whoa, where am I typing? type right here, using no IntelliSense for me. What is this am I writing? It's just like a file? Hold on for a second. I'm not quite liking how this thing is coming together. Yeah, move that to trash. Hold on. So what I'm going to do is save this as is, and we're going to ask VS22 to open it up one time, because I don't know what type of file that's adding. So let's go to CLI projects, Sands of MAUI solution. Okay, now I know it's going to fail, but I want to just see it, see if the reference was added right, and then can start adding some stuff to it. Yeah, fine. Don't need Android right now. Okay, see, it is able to open a dotNET MAUI project. And can you folks see? I'll make it bigger. Okay, let's check the dependencies. Ooh. For iOS, there's a NuGet package, so it did pull it up. I like the new icons that they have, but it's not pulling up any of the folders that I added. Huh? Why is it not? Because it wasn't added to the solution somehow. Okay, all right. Close that. Close that. Yeah. Where are we here? Let's use VS Code. Yeah, I know VS Code. You can't load that. All right. Can I not say what type of file it is that I want to add? It just gives me a blank text file, and then it doesn't know IntelliSense at all. It's weird. So if I went and copied this class, see, it's just not even understanding what it is. I didn't tell it that it's like a C# file. Hold on, I'm going to copy all of this stuff, which I don't need the Azure Cosmos stuff, obviously. Oh, now it's picking up. Now I realize, oh, there you see, the C# thing, it just needed a few using things to figure out what it was. Okay, I'm not going to keep the Cosmos stuff here. So just an issue list of name published by. Well, we should add the ID. Integer ID. Now I know I can do records in C#9, but this is just a simple POCO object for now, but I will rethink this through exactly what the data structures look like. But I just want to see from a dotNET MAUI app, am I able to reach out and do the thing that I just did from a console app? All right, services. Let's add a new file here. Cosmos, what should we call it? Cosmos service? Sure. Okay, so now class program. All right, let's copy this using statement so it starts to understand. Yeah, we'll keep it in namespace within. Oh, I didn't add the namespace to the issue list, which I should. Excuse me. Okay, so now we go public class Cosmos service. All right, we should add the namespace here as well, so we have everything nice and tight. Sands of MAUI, that, copy that out, and end it here. Whoop, nope, that. Why is my formatting not being taken care of? There we go. So we have an issue list in the same namespace, and now we have a Cosmos service. Now this one is referencing Azure Cosmos. Okay. All right. Now let's get to some of the things that I need here. Okay, so we have a class, right? I'm going to copy a bunch of things here. No, I don't need all of that. Let's copy this. And let's copy these two methods here, and that should be all that I need to make the call out. There we go. Okay, now this thing can go away. I don't need this anymore. All right, so we start out with some static endpoint URI, primary key that's coming from my service, Cosmos client, database container, container ID, database ID. Now, we don't need this async task main, because we're going to call this from our MAUI code. Let's hold on. Let's call this initialize Cosmos stuff. Okay. So Cosmos client, we're going to initialize that. Database, we're going to initialize that. Container, we're going to initialize that. And maybe this one, we do it from the other place. We have a list of issues, and hold on, because it's going to get confused with the issue list. It's in the same. Let's bring in our models, right? Using Sands of MAUI dot. Oh, that's not a. It's the same namespace, so I don't need to. I'm sorry. So it doesn't matter. And here in the query items async, query issue list async. Okay. SQL query text select star. I don't need a console write line. All right, query definition that feed iterator issue list. Where is it getting the issue list? Okay, so it did pick up the issue list from my model. That's good. That's good. Query results set iterator. It's going to go off the issue list, and then it's going to create a list of issues, which is good. And we're going to just write it out into that issue list, right? We are expecting a contractor to come to our house at 11 Eastern, so hopefully they don't come sooner. So I got 15 more minutes maybe. All right, so when the Cosmos service comes along in the initializer, we have to initialize this stuff. All right, so public Cosmos service. So when this happens is when I want to await initialize Cosmos stuff. How about that? Now it's going to complain. I understand it needs an async All right, void for now. Maybe that'll stop complaining. Okay, there we go. So we're able to call this initialize this stuff. Okay. So we can take out the task main because we're not in a console app anymore. Then we have, why is it complaining here? What? That's my initializer, or my, how it starts out. Public partial class. You're going to just call it partial class. It's still complaining. Okay, we'll get to it. So initialize Cosmos stuff. We don't need to do the query writing from here. And I lost my signal again. There you go. It's got like a lifespan of about 20-25 minutes, and then it needs a reboot. Okay. So no issues in the query issue. No signal again. Is something not right with my wires? Huh, the wires are all nice and tight. It says no device. Come back. Yeah, one moment, please. Activate. Okay, stay with me, desktop. Don't go away. I need a new video card. Looks like it's gone kaput. It's just losing the connection, even though the wires are nice and tight. Okay, so we have a query issue list. We have an initialize Cosmos stuff, which we are invoking. The async method X and await. Oh, I know, I'm not using an await here, so we don't need that. So we'll just do this dot initialize Cosmos stuff. There you go. So I don't need an await over here. Now what? Yeah, I know. It doesn't need to return anything. It's void. Oh, it's returning a task. This is very frustrating that it's losing my signal so many times. Okay, I will ahead of next week's stream, I'm gonna go and get a new video card, so you don't have to see me do that over and over again. Okay, I got the endpoint, I got the database, I got the container. Okay, is it this that's blowing it up? It's right here. Okay, hold on. So we can do the initialization later on as well, like when the view model actually needs it. But oh, okay. So we'll initialize that later on, or have the model trigger that interaction, or maybe the view model do that. So initialize it and then that. Okay, so none of this is being invoked right now, so hopefully the dotNET MAUI builds are still good. Let's do a dotNET restore. Okay, and let's run it on iOS. Come on. My hope is to just be able to debug through this and be able to pull that data back from Azure Cosmos DB in my MAUI app. Okay, we're still good. We're not using anything, and it's not complaining about that NuGet package, so we are still good. So we are going to have, should the view model be the one initializing it? Eventually, but for now we are just going to do stuff here in the main page XAML just to get a trial going. So we need to create a new Cosmos service, then we need to call initialize on it, and then we can call this. All right. Namespace is that. All right, here we go. So this is going to be ugly, but we're going to do this. So Cosmos service. My Cosmos service is new Cosmos service. Okay, I'm not going to keep it here. I will move it. I just want to try it. So let's do initialize stuff here. I will refactor this. And then I can say, what was it? Query. Oh no, is that not public? Hold on. Oh, it was private. Public async task. Query issues list async. Okay. Jeez, how many times will it go off? Okay. Now, is it going to get upset if I do an async on the main page? Hopefully not. Oh, wait. Okay. It is saying something. Member names can be the same as the closing times. What do you mean? It is just the initializer. Okay. I can't debug this very easily. Can I? There are ways to debug a dotNET MAUI app. Okay, I'm going to do a blind faith run and see what it does and see if it blows up. Yeah. Okay, it is complaining about the build. I know. Maybe this is just a bad idea trying to do this on the main page. The signal. This might be a difficult stream to sustain, folks, because my video card is just not working out. So I'll get a new video card and come back next week. If it goes off one more time, we're off, and we are getting close to an hour anyways. So hold on, this is copy this one out. Let's go back to, oh geez, the video card is just done. All right, sorry about that, folks. I don't know what's going on with my video card. It just doesn't keep my desktop on for too long. Hold on, can we build this the way it was? Yeah, that one's still good. So I just need to call into the Cosmos service separately. Come on, let me see the build. When I plug it in, the light it lights up for a second. It says I'm good, but then it starts flickering soon after. So that tells me that it's not getting a good connection to the desktop. So we are still good, but what we need to do here is, and this is something maybe we take on next week once I have my desktop situation figured out. We have a Cosmos service here which knows how to reach out to Cosmos. So I need to be able to debug this, and I need to initialize this stuff and then start pulling records back. And we have an issue list, but we're going to have the just the actual issues with the HTML. So we've gotten started, but we haven't gotten much, and the video card is not helping at all. You can see like every 2 minutes it's losing the connection. So I'm going to spare all of you the frustration and me getting frustrated over and over, plugging it back in and out. So I'm going to stop here for today, folks. Sorry I didn't get a whole lot of things done, but I won't touch this until next week again so we can do this on stream. But I love you for bearing with me through the video card issues, and I will see you next stream next week. All right, bye folks.